power dynamics, you know?
Yeah.
So do you think in a relationship there has to always be one that's sort of the more, you know, taking control, and the other one that's like the passenger princess?
Before I answer that question, it's interesting how I use the word taking the lead, you use the word taking control. Why is that?
Taking the lead is taking control of the situation and what you know you're doing, and the passenger princess following, right? Leading, following.
Mm-hmm.
And that's controlling what you do, you know? If you're deciding what you're doing and what you're going to do, that's controlling, you know?
So for you, you don't see a difference in the word leading and controlling. You think they're one and the same?
I was talking about the context of like of a relationship when one person is in taking the lead, in control. I feel like they are quite interchangeable. You don't agree?
I don't think leading and controlling are the same thing. No.
Okay.
So leading is when you have people who want to follow you and you are leading them.
Mm-hmm.
Controlling is tyrannical. Right? So you don't give them a choice.
Yeah.
That hence the word control. So do I believe any relationship should be controlling? Absolutely not.
Okay, well, I meant leading then.
Oh, leading. Okay, cool. What was your original question?
I can't remember. I literally can't remember.
Do I think it has to be that way? No, it doesn't. Okay, so what I will say is this. You can't have two captains on one ship.
Why not? Isn't that what the power couple is?
Yeah, that's a fallacy.
Really?
Who's a power couple in your eyes?
Talking about celebrities.
Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're a power couple?
Right. You don't agree?
You don't think that she submits to his leadership?
Submits?
To his leadership, yeah. You don't think she does?
Why would she do that? No, who's submitting?
Because she loves him and respects him, right? Let me ask you a better question. Because it came out that he had an affair, right?
Right.
Why do you think she didn't leave?
Oh, so that's on her own terms. I wouldn't know why Beyonce does whatever.
I don't know, but I'm asking you to speculate.
Why someone who got cheated on doesn't leave?
Why do you think she didn't leave?
Maybe she didn't. She wanted to move past it and be in that relationship still.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen an interview with them both?
No.
Okay. So she very much sees him as leading and the head of their household.
Okay. So that gives them the right to cheat, and she's okay with that?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, right.
What I'm trying to say is that the thing of being a power couple where both are captains rarely works, and I don't think there's any example. And you're
basing this off of one celebrity couple that you've never met and you've never spoken to.
I'm basing this off what we see. That's why in companies you have one CEO. That's why there's one prime minister, one president. That's why when you see two companies merge together, right? There's one company that always owns 51% and the other one 49%. Do you know why?
Yes, so that they have the lead overall decision.
Because when it comes down to it, somebody has to have the final say.
Final say, yeah.
So if you're going to have two captains on a ship, unless you're both going to absolutely agree on everything, which is not going to happen, eventually you're either going to, one person has to submit to the other person's decision, or you have to go your separate ways.
I don't think that the metaphor of I don't think you should use a company or a ship to describe relationships. I mean, there doesn't have to be one CEO in a relationship and the other one to submit. That's ridiculous.
What I'm saying is that there are principles that we see replicate throughout different areas and elements through our culture, society, and human behavior. Right? That's what I'm saying. That's why I gave the example of like Beyonce, Jay-Z about companies, about captain of a ship, right? You can only have one captain on the ship. That doesn't mean that, here's the thing, that doesn't mean that they're more important or more valuable. It's about the roles and responsibilities we choose to have in whatever environment that we're in. So just because somebody's your boss, that doesn't mean that they are more valuable than you in terms of your actual human worth and value, right? They just have different roles and responsibilities. So in a relationship, I'm guessing the man is the one. It doesn't have to be. It can be the woman. Right. It can absolutely. There are some relationships where the woman's more the captain and the man follows her. And you think for all relationships it should
be one or the other. You know, one person is the CEO taking in charge, and the other one should submit. Your words.
Well, one person is going to be more the captain than the other. Yeah, that's how relationships work.
You don't think that there could be a 50-50 relationship? Unless
you're going to agree on absolutely everything, no.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. I really don't.
Can you give me an example that you've seen?
What, a celebrity example?
Does that have to be a celebrity example where you've seen that it's like it's perfect 50-50 in every way?
In my relationships, I would be 50-50 with somebody. I don't submit to anybody when what they say is like final decision. No. I definitely wouldn't say something as a final decision and expect them to just say, okay.
So I think you're misinterpreting what it means to like be a leader and then to be a boss, right?
You use the CEO as an example.
I said there's only one CEO. I was describing the leader of a company.
Okay.
Right? Or the leader of a country. Yeah. So in a relationship, and here's the thing, like part of being a good leader is seeing what is it that your partner, your team that you're leading, what do they need? Right? What is it that they need from this decision? What is it that they need moving forward? Because the leader's responsibility is to serve the team. I mean, you're a relationship, you're a team, right?
Right.
So it's not like, oh, he's a leader and you just come up and you do whatever I say. It's no, if you're a captain, if you're a good leader, your responsibility is to serve what is best for the team, which includes maybe doing things that you don't want to do, but because it benefits the team as a whole. That's what a good leader does. So it's not about
I think a relationship, there doesn't need to be a leader. The other person knows what's best for them. They don't need someone else to tell them what's best for them.
I didn't say it's saying what's best for them. I said what's best for the relationship. Let me give you this example. I'll give you this scenario. Let's say you have a guy and a girl, you have a man and woman, and they're in a relationship, and let's say they're in London. Yeah? And then, you know, they want to have a family together, they want to build a life together. Man gets an incredible job opportunity, right? That's going to help elevate. Yeah, classic. Which means that he has to now move, but that's going to take him to Australia. Right? Now, he's going to take it, right? He wants to take it. Now, he wants his girlfriend to come with him. Yeah.
Right.
But obviously she's based here. Yeah. Now she can choose. Does she want to go with him? Does he stay here and not take the job?
Choose, yeah.
Or do they split up? Right.
But the fact that it's her choice.
Of course it's her choice.
Is what I'm saying.
I completely, it should always be. Yeah, so it should always be a choice.
Yeah. So she's not submitting to this leader.
No, but what I mean is this. So they've got three options. Either they both go to Australia, they both stay here, or they break up, right? So if they both go to Australia, she is submitting to his decision to go.
She's not.
Well, if she wants to stay here, she is.
She's not submitting to his decision. She's deciding herself. No submission. She's deciding herself that, oh, I'll come with you because you're my partner and I want to be with you. That's just normal 2025, you know, power dynamics.
You seem to have an issue with the word submit.
Well, my suffragette ancestors did not fight for equal opportunity to be told to submit in 2025. I'm not submitting to anybody, you know. She's choosing herself to go with her boyfriend, husband to Australia. She's not being told to go and submitting.
What do you think it means to follow someone's decisions? What do you think that means?
Following someone's decisions for you, for someone else's decisions for you. So
if you have a captain of your team and you follow their decisions, what do you think that means?
You are submitting, aren't you?
That's exactly what I just said. If she's following his decisions.
No, she's not following his decisions. She's deciding herself. If he said, I'm going to go and you're coming with me, that's following his decisions. He said, I'm going to go. And she said, okay, I'll come with you. It was her choice to go with him. She's not submitting to his decisions.
Him deciding to go and her choosing. I'm saying she has the choice
to go with him.
She is submitting. She is choosing to submit to his decision, because here's the difference. If he was choosing to submit to her decision, right, for the benefit of the relationship, because we're saying like either they both go to Australia, right, and the relationship continues, or either they both stay here and the relationship continues, or they break up. If he decides not to go, then he's submitting to her decision to stay here. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I was giving you an example where unless you're going to agree on absolutely everything, eventually somebody will have to submit to the other person's decision for the benefit of the relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't have to be the man. It doesn't have to be the woman, right? But for relationships to, not just relationships, teammates, teams, captains, organizations, for that to thrive and continue to move forward, you have to be...
So talking about compromise.
I mean, compromise is another thing, but yeah, compromise is part of it too.
Because if she decided to stay, then he has to compromise and stay as well.
But he would be submitting to her decision. Because he would not be taking that promotion, right, for the benefit of the relationship, which is submitting to her decision, right?
I see. So there was no option for him to go and for her to stay.
For the relationship to survive?
Yeah. So she decided to stay. So he, on his own accord, decided to stay as well to save the relationship.
Well, this is why I was saying that it's about the roles and responsibilities we take to serve the relationship. Because both of them being separate does not serve the relationship.
Well, sure, many people out there who've done long distance could disagree, but
I can talk about personal experience, especially with Australia. And personally, I don't think distance can work unless you have some immediate plan to like close that gap. Because eventually what tends to happen is one or even both people will start to resent the distance aspect of the relationship. So then they start to resent the relationship itself.
Wow. Wouldn't want to do that.
I know, I wouldn't want to do that.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing